Quanzhou is a very unique city. One minute you're walking through traditional Chinese alleyways of dynasties past, next minute you're staring up at a giant mosque, turn the corner and you're confronted with towering Buddhist pagodas, and then next minute you're sitting in the pews of a Christian church. But that's not even the half of it. Here in Quanzhou, traditional cultures have been mixing with exotic ones for thousands of years, and you can definitely still see that cultural footprint here today. Welcome to Quanzhou, where world cultures meet. Quanzhou is a city in southern China in Fujian province, and as you can probably deduce, it's a coastal city. In such a location, it probably doesn't surprise you that Quanzhou is and was a port city, but what might surprise you is just how important this port of Quanzhou was. Let's go back about 1,000 years ago. Quanzhou here was the starting point of the Maritime Silk Road and was one of, if not the most important port in the world.
海上丝绸之路，它把中国的文化跟中国的特产呢带给了西域，又把西域的一些先进的东西带来中国。
When Marco Polo visited Quanzhou in the 13th century, he famously described it as the Alexandria of the East and one of the best havens in the world for commerce. So you see, this wasn't just any old port city, it was the commercial center of ancient China. So you bet that traders and businessmen from far and wide, from all over the world, made it their priority to come here.
海上丝绸之路，它通过的国家非常多，带来世界各地的人，有欧洲人、印度人是必须的，中东的还有东南亚的。从外国带来了什么？带来了宗教。
This behind me here is Qingjing Mosque. It was left behind by Arabic traders that flooded into Quanzhou during the Song dynasty. And here's a fun fact, Quanzhou was actually the first place in China where Islam was introduced. Its roof and minaret have long gone, but the walls and the pillars of the main prayer hall still stand here today. This mosque, built and repaired by Arab Muslims, reflects the friendship and cultural exchange between China and Arabic countries during that time. More than anything, Quanzhou provided a cultural environment that valued religious freedom and openness. Due to this, Quanzhou became a meeting point for religious beliefs from all around the world. Here in Quanzhou, various religious institutions have coexisted for hundreds of years and in such close proximity. Check this out. Okay, so let's start our walk at Qingjing Mosque. A few hundred meters down the road, you're going to come across Guanyi Temple, a place dedicated to the worship of Guanyu. But here's the interesting thing. Guanyu doesn't only belong to one faith. Instead, Guanyu is worshipped by Buddhists, Taoists, and Confucianists. Then around the corner, we're going to stumble across Quanzhou Christian Church, founded in 1863. And then you've got this here. This is Kaiyuan Temple, and it's just a few streets away from Tumen Street. It features two massive Buddhist pagodas, one on this side and one on this side. But there's something very interesting about this Buddhist site, something worth delving into. Okay, so check this out behind me here. These are actually Hindu carvings at a Buddhist temple. Have you ever seen anything like this? But that is definitely not the only case of blending religions and different cultural elements here in Quanzhou. I'm here at the Quanzhou Maritime Museum to show you guys something really quite incredible. This is a tombstone that was excavated and it depicts a four-winged angel. But if you look closer, you'll actually see that it blends together many diverse cultures.
它的这个帽子是三形冠，是佛教里面的三形冠。然后呢，他手里拖着莲花，莲花上面有一个十字架，后面有那个翅膀，说明他是基督教的天使。但是我们可以看到呢，它莲花也是佛教的东西。那这个云其实可以算是道教的。这个不正常的，这个就算在中国都是非常罕见的，在国外更没有了。一是因为当时泉州呢，它地面上有各种宗教，它为了当地人能够接受外来的这种基督教，所以它就融入了我们的当地的元素。
Seriously, could Quanzhou be any more culturally diverse? I guess it's not surprising that UNESCO dubbed Quanzhou the Museum of World Religions, because that's exactly what it is. Walking down a street in Quanzhou is just like walking through a museum.
它每一条街、每一条巷都有故事。
For me, walking around Quanzhou is like a never-ending game of Where's Waldo. It's like, spot the cultural influences. Oh look, a Hindu inscription here, and a Christian tombstone there. And this building is slightly Arabic in its feel. And oh look, I seem to have stumbled across a tower statue. It's really quite fun.
到现在都还存在在泉州，而且保护得很好。
我们的寺庙里面的那些大佛啊，整个寺庙的结构啊，都是从宋代以前保存到现在都没破坏到。
那泉州现在依然还有这些阿拉伯波斯商人的后裔，有大概6到7万人。
Whoa. Being such an important international trade port, it's important to remember that Quanzhou wasn't just a place where China met the world, but also where the world met China. This is Dohua porcelain, and it's famous for its white glazed look. Back in the day, this specific type of porcelain was a huge hit on the Maritime Silk Road. Dohua itself is outside the city limits of Quanzhou, but it's still considered part of Quanzhou.
你看德化瓷主要出名的是白瓷为主，雕塑白瓷为主。
Dohua porcelain was shipped to Europe in large quantities and became popular among the foreign nobility in the Ming dynasty.
它是从古代通过秦州港，然后出国，然后到世界各地，然后当时就受到全世界的欢迎和热爱。
In France, it's simply known as Blanc de Chine or Blanc de China. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it basically means white from China. In fact, Marco Polo actually described the beauty of Dohua porcelain in his Travels of Marco Polo. It's believed that he brought back from China a little porcelain jar made in Dohua, which is now housed in St. Mark's Basilica in Venice, apparently. That's what people say. So I guess it's fair to say that Dohua definitely put its footprint on the world.
它的意志是非常好，所以它不变色，它永远都不会变色。你这个几千年以后，它还是这个颜色，它不变。
I'm here at the Quanzhou Maritime Museum and they have an awesome collection of Dohua porcelain, most of them ranging from like 900 to 1200 AD. For being 1,000 years old, some of these are in just really good condition. Talk about a lifetime guarantee. Another main export of Quanzhou, both then and now, is of course tea. Tea has been produced here in the district of Annecy in the periphery of Quanzhou for over 1,000 years. It was exported to as many as 58 countries in Asia, Europe and Africa in the Yuan-Song and Tang dynasties. Actually, until the middle of the 19th century, Fujian remained the top region in the world for tea exportation until India took over. And when it comes to Annecy, one tea rules supreme. It's Tieguanyin. 铁观音有什么特点？
这个口感纯正，香气很好。
香甜哦，主要是香，
清淡香气。
I'm currently in Annecy at this massive Tieguanyin market and I'm looking to buy some tea, but I'm not really sure who I should go to for it. 谁的茶比较好喝？
我的比较好喝。
都好喝，我的很好喝。
你比他好喝吗？
原水香的，带你去喝一下呢。
好啊。Time for the taste test. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's a really nice one. Very light, bright, flowery. Tieguanyin is actually one of my favorite teas in China for that very reason. It's very drinkable. It's a great tea to start your day with, very suited for drinking in the morning. So yeah, get your hands on some Tieguanyin. With megaports like Shanghai and Guangzhou in modern China, the might that used to be Quanzhou has been largely forgotten. So luckily, some of its legacy is literally written into stone. I'm here at Jiuzhi Hill, a very, very special place here in Quanzhou, and you can see countless engravings on these hills here. But what does it mean? These engravings here are essentially prayers to the wind, wishing the travelers, the traders, the businessmen of that time safe travels home, good winds, and smooth sailing. So lovely. These inscriptions for me, they show that the foreigners, the traders, the people of different ethnicities and beliefs, not only were they accepted, they were loved. Quanzhou was a place that showcased to the world that people of different faiths could live together in harmony, respect and accept each other. And for me, that's something that definitely deserves being remembered.
不管你是白皮肤人、黄皮肤人、黑皮肤人，都是人。